Dr. King was a crusader for social, racial, and economic equality. 10 News reporter Emerald Morrow takes a closer look at the impact he had right here in Tampa Bay.
What do a black man, two Jewish teens, and a rabbi have in common?
It reminds me of myself when I was there.
Right there, fighting for social change. Clarence Fort was instrumental in desegregating Tampa's lunch counters and met Dr. King when he came to Tampa in 1961.
He was very motivating, and I was the head of the NAACP Youth Council in Tampa, so it was very important that I met him, and I just couldn't believe the motivation that he exhibited.
Fort says he sees that same motivation driving these teens today.
Listening to stories of anybody who was a part of that movement, it really inspires me, and it makes me feel empowered to know that we're following in their footsteps.
Did everybody give their sleeping stuff?
These teens were part of a group from local synagogues who went up to rally in D.C. for better gun control in light of the Parkland shooting.
The civil rights movement is really inspiring for our cause because it shows that not only here in Florida, but all across the nation, that change can be brought about if we keep pushing at it.
Rabbi Daniel Treiser went on this trip too and helped them connect the dots between the movement of the past and their movement today.
In the 60s, the Jewish community found common ground with Dr. King. So what we were trying to teach the teens was understanding how our values and the lessons of the civil rights movement were being employed by the Jewish community. 17 rabbis went down to St. Augustine at Dr. King's calling to help desegregate the city.
Those rabbis were arrested and from jail wrote a letter called Why We Went, a letter these teens studied on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial during their trip, a trip that's inspired them to keep fighting for change.
We have the ball rolling now, and we can't let it stop or else nothing's going to happen. I actually read a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King, and it said that if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Emerald Morrow, 10 News.
These students say they realize they don't face the same challenges as African Americans did during the civil rights movement, but they say Dr. King's message pushes them to keep standing up for social change.